So let me get this straight. We're 1 point behind Manchester United. Going into one of the most crucial parts as Chelsea Football Club in our season to try and secure Champions League football for next season. And the boys decide to go and jet off to Dubai. Now, look, I get it. I get it. They need downtime, 18 months of consistent football. But if we don't get 3 points tomorrow against Burnley at Stamford Bridge, the media and the fans are going to crucify this team, and rightfully so. The run-in starts now. There can be no more excuses for this season. And to make matters worse, Marc Cucurella will be out for at least 3 to 4 weeks with a hamstring injury. We have to get our predicted lineup right in this lineup to be able to get the 3 points at Stamford Bridge. Welcome back to From the Shed End. Drop a like, share, subscribe, all of that stuff. Leave your thoughts in the comments and let's get straight into the match preview. Now, let's start with the break. We've had a break. We've had a week off. There's been no Champions League playoffs for Chelsea. There's been no midweek games. This is the first time, I think in at least 12 months, that we've had a week off of football. And I'll be honest, apart from the internationals, but I'll be honest, I think the boys needed it. I think the players needed it. I know that obviously I'm bantering about the Dubai thing. I think it's done them the world of good to just get away, recharge. And Liam Rosenior in his press conference even said exactly those words, that the boys needed to go and get some sun, have some fun, go and see the Burj Khalifa, go and enjoy what Dubai has to offer. And let's be honest, Cucurella, Cole Palmer, I think Pedro Neto, Enzo Fernandez, João Pedro, they're all over there in Dubai in the last week or so. And I'll be honest, it's better than being in grey, cloudy England where it rains, it's cold, it's windy. Go and get yourself some sun. Go and soak up some sun in Dubai. And I think, I'll be honest, I think personally, hopefully, this has done the players the world of good. And it shows Liam Rosenior's management skills are there, because one of the things that he said when he came into this role was he wants his team to feel like they can come to him with anything. He's got an open door policy. And also one of the key things is he wants to be a really good manager. And I think Liam Rosenior, by allowing the players to go abroad, to go to Dubai or wherever they wanted to go, it has hopefully given them that emphasis to now go on for the remainder of these fixtures in this season to try and secure top four, try and get us the FA Cup, going as far into the Champions League as possible. And the only way to do that is by giving and allowing these players the trust to get us over the line in the Premier League to make sure we get that Champions League spot. Because let's be honest, that should be the bare minimum. I've said it on here before. It is the bare minimum as Chelsea Football Club to be getting top four this season. It shouldn't even be an objective. It should be a guaranteed that we get top four this season. But we know that there's some tricky fixtures. And out of us, Liverpool and Manchester United, one of those three teams will drop out that top five, top four for next season's Champions League. Now, we know that Marc Cucurella is injured. He came off injured in the last game. We know that. He came off at half-time. Now, Liam Rosenior was asked in a press conference yesterday, how bad is the injury? How bad will Liam Rosenior, how will he cope without him? Now, we know that we've got João Neto is there. We know this. But it is going to be a massive, massive loss to not have Marc Cucurella in the team. It looks like it's going to be a 3 to 4 week layoff for Marc Cucurella, who will be out of the team. Some key fixtures he's going to be missing. But I do want to say this. That I do have a lot of trust in João Neto to come in and fill in for Marc Cucurella, because I think João Neto, that's exactly why we brought him in. That is exactly why we brought João Neto into our team, to be able to come in and fill in the void, fill in the roles when we don't have Marc Cucurella to our disposal. So I'm going to be honest. I think we need to use João Neto. It's a shame for Marc Cucurella, because when we don't have him in the team, I do feel like he's a massive loss. I feel like Marc Cucurella not being in our team is a massive loss. The energy that he brings, the defensive mindset that he's got, getting forward as well is another key area. So if it is 3 to 4 weeks and Marc Cucurella is going to be out for that period of time, we need to see João Neto. You've got to step up. You've got to step up as the left back. My worry with Liam Rosenior, and we got to see this under Enzo Maresca and other managers, is they don't always play the right players in the right positions. And my concern is that we see Malo Gusto or we see Josh Achiempong playing in that left back role. And I just think, put your left back as a left back. put Jarrell Heto as the left back, and we still have options off the bench. We still have options off the bench in terms of Malo Gusto if we need to put him as a left back. But our first thoughts should be putting Jarrell Heto as that left back. Unfortunate for Marc Cucurella. It sounds like a really bad tear in the hamstring. It could be more than 4 weeks. We've got some massive crucial games coming up. I think we've got Arsenal after Burnley. So we've got some crucial games coming up that will determine where we finish in this season. And we need players back. We need them back, massively need them back. Now, one thing I want to talk about with Burnley is because Burnley are a team that are not afraid of Stamford Bridge. They're not afraid. They're not afraid. Let's have a look at the last results that we've had. We've had a 2-2 against Burnley. These are all at Stamford Bridge. Last March, 2-2. November 2021, 1-1. January 21, 2-0. 3-0, Chelsea 2020. 2019, another 2-2. And if you remember back to 2017, they beat us 3-2. So this is a team that is not afraid to come to Stamford Bridge and play some football. This is where I get concerned, because having a week off, and I don't mean about going to Dubai and doing what you want. That's entirely up to those players. That they can do what they want in their own time. But having a week off can actually derail progress in the team. And this is where I went back at the very start and said that if we don't get the 3 points tomorrow, there will be conversations and questions asked about whether going to Dubai was the correct thing to do, or was it actually taking the whole team away and doing a football camp somewhere warm? Go to Dubai with the whole team. Go and do a training camp in Dubai. Go and do a training camp in Marbella or somewhere that's a bit more warmer, a bit more climatization to some of the players that we've got in the team. Would that have been better options to do some sort of form of training rather than just giving them the week off? But look, Burnley are going to be a difficult opposition. They come into this one 19th in the league. But again, we looked at Wolves against Arsenal, the bottom of the league. The teams at the bottom now, West Ham, Burnley, Nottingham Forest, even Tottenham, they're all scrambling for points. They all want points, and Burnley are in that conversation as well. Burnley want points. Burnley are going to get points. If they can get a draw, that's a result to them. That's another point. That's getting them back out of that bottom three. We have to make sure tomorrow that we are not the team that gifts this team 3 points or even a point. Because let's be honest, like I said, 1 point behind Manchester United. We have to make sure that not only do we look in front of us, we look behind us. Because Liverpool, Brentford, let's even call Everton and Bournemouth into that conversation, are right behind us. They are right behind us. And what you don't want to do as well is you don't want to allow United, you don't want to allow Aston Villa to slip away and open that gap in 3rd and 4th place, and you're only fighting it out for 5th place for Liverpool. So tomorrow's game is absolutely crucial. I said a couple of weeks ago, every single game is a cup final. Every single game is a cup final. And that's exactly what we have to take from tomorrow, is that we go into this game with the mentality that 3 points is on the line and we have to get the win. Now, no Champions League for us, no playoffs, which is good. There will be a video, by the way, coming out. I do want to talk about the Jose Mourinho stuff. There will be a separate video for that coming out. So make sure you get your notifications on. Make sure you don't miss that video, because I've got a lot to say about Jose Mourinho. Obviously, Chelsea manager, but we're going to get onto Jose later. Don't worry, another video. But back to Burnley. Now, look, Burnley are going to be a team that are always going to create options, create pressure. We know with Ogunchukwu as well. We know that they've got Hannibal, very, very good. 2 good midfielders that like to make things physical in the midfield. Carl Walker with his pace down that right-hand side for them as well. Bashir Humphreys potentially coming back. So there's a lot of players that we will know in this team. But one thing I will say is that Scott Parker's team, they do play 5 at the back usually. But what I do notice about them is they play very high line. They play very aggressive, front-footed football. And they want to, like I said, they want to try and score goals. They want to try and score goals very early into the game. But by doing that, what they do is they leave themselves open for a lot of mistakes at the back. And I think that's where, for me personally, that's where our attacking 4, in terms of the striker and the 3 behind that striker, have to make sure that they're always And I'm not clapping, by the way, I'm doing this. They have to be ready to pounce on the mistakes that are made by Burnley. Now, let's get into the predicted lineup, my favorite part of the video, because now I've gone for a lineup that I would like to see tomorrow, 3 p.m. Stamford Bridge rocking. Now, Sanchez, a given. We know that he's going to be in goal. Liam Rosenior was asked yesterday about Reece James. Is he fit enough to play? Look, Reece James in these sort of games, I think is going to be a big, big thing for us. I think we're going to have to use him as much as we can for the next remainder, the foreseeable. I think he has to now. We talk about managing minutes all the time with Reece James. I think that has to, at some point, we have to trust that his body's able to cope with more than one match a week. With the fact that he's had a week off. I know before that we played 3 games in the space of 6 days, but I think he has to be given an opportunity. He's had a week's rest. There should be no reason why Reece James, who we've been told by Liam Rosenior is fit enough to play, is not in that team tomorrow. So for me, I've gone with Reece James as a right back. Now I've gone, and I feel really bad because I love to see Josh Achiampong in this game. I really would. But I just don't think we will see Josh Achiampong. I think what we will see, and I won't be against this, is Wesley Fofana and Mamadou Sarr as the 2 centre-backs in this team. I think, again, put on a really good display in the last game for Chelsea. And I generally think this is the team we'll see against Hull. We'll see that. Obviously, it was in the FA Cup, but we'll see how good the 2 of Sarr and Fofana can be. And as I just said, Joel Hector has to come into this game for me. He has to be the one that is linking up the play, driving forward with the ball, utilising hopefully the space whoever's in the back line for Burnley will give us, and he has to exploit that every single opportunity he gets. Now, I've gone for Caicedo and Enzo. Again, you got to look at, does Santos need to come into this team? I personally think we've got Arsenal. We've got Arsenal next Sunday, 1st of March. So we've got another week off. We've got Burnley tomorrow, then we've got another week. I wouldn't be surprised if it starts off with Caicedo and Enzo. And during this game, regardless of the score, I think you see Andre Santos come off the bench. But I've gone with the 2 that we're familiar with in the back line, in the midfield, with Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez. I've then gone with a 3 of Esteval, Willian, Cole Palmer, and Pedro Neto, who, for me, I need to see them here. I need to see the 3 of them talking and linking up together and playing some beautiful football. And to add to that, I need to throw in our striker, João Pedro, who I think, for me, I think he's got just as many goals as Ekitike and 2 more assists than Ekitike this season so far. And one of them, you talk about Ekitike being one of the best signings of the season. And João Pedro is just being spoken about as João Pedro, but he's been in great form under Liam Rosenior, and I think that has to continue tomorrow. I want to see this 4. I want to see this 4 playing well, linking up, making it really difficult for the Burnley defenders at the back. We've got to make sure that we get that first goal, because if we don't, and we keep doing this, we keep trying to throw the kitchen sink at teams and games, and that will work every now and again. But there's going to become a moment where, and I'm gonna single out the Leeds game, 10th of Feb. That game, we tried to throw the kitchen sink, but it still wasn't good enough. And like I said, our next couple of games is Arsenal, Aston Villa. We then have Wrexham in the cup, Newcastle, Everton, and then we play Man City after the international break. So there is a lot of football coming up. But this is my lineup. This is the lineup I've gone with. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your comments are in the comment section. What would you change in this lineup? Would you put Andre Santos in there? Do you want to see Malo Gusto ahead of James? I need to know your thoughts in the comment section below. And as always, make sure you hit that subscribe button. You leave your thoughts in the comment section. As I said, there's going to be another video. Jose Mourinho video will be coming out. I've got to have my say on this, because as you can see behind here, we've got some Chelsea legends on the wall. And Jose, for me, was one of those Chelsea legends. But I've got to be honest, I've got to look at Jose a little bit different after his comments midweek against Benfica, or for Benfica against Real Madrid in that Champions League knockout game. We're going to talk about Jose in a different. Make sure you've got your notifications on. So you hear what I got to say about him. But let's hope for 3 points. I think we're going to get 3 points. I think we're going to smash Burnley. I'm going to go 3-0. Clean sheet for Sanchez, couple of goals for João Pedro, and a special from Estevar Willian. Let's speak it into existence. Let's hope it comes into fruition. Enjoy the weekend. Don't forget, we'll be back with the match review of the game afterwards. So hit your notification bells, all of that good stuff, and we'll be back soon.